Now in lesson 10, we're looking at solving equations. And we basically have 4 steps that are listed here. The main thing we want to do is get rid of parentheses first, so that's removing those grouping symbols. And then we want to combine like terms on each side, so we can kind of clear that up. And perform the same operation on both sides until we get x equals the solution. So let's try this first problem. We've got 3x minus 4 equals x minus 6. So as I look at this problem, I'm noticing that I have x on both sides of the equation. Well, that's kind of a problem. I need x to be on one side. And I tend to work, and it doesn't really matter which one of these you move, but I tend to work with x on the left. So I'm going to subtract x from both sides of the equation. Subtract x here and subtract x here. So 3x minus x is 2x. I'm going to bring down my plus 4. And that equals, this x minus x is 0. I'm not going to write that down, but minus 6 leaves us with negative 6. And then my next step would be to isolate this part with x in it. So to do that, we need to do the opposite of what's been done. So I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. Whatever I do to the left side, I got to do to the right. So this is going to cancel out, and that leaves us with 2x equals negative 10. And then since it's 2 times x, to undo multiplication, we need to divide. So I'm going to divide on both sides by 2 so that this cancels out, and that leaves us with x equals negative 5. Now in our second problem here, we notice that we do have parentheses, so we are going to need to distribute first. So I'm going to need to distribute this 2 to the 5, and then I'm going to need to go back and distribute that 2 to the negative x. So that gives me 10 minus 2x. And I'm leaving the right-hand side alone, x minus 8. And then in here I've got the same problem I had before. I've got x's on both sides. So I need to move one of them. So I'm going to take this x here on the right and move it over. So I've got to do that by subtracting x from both sides. And we draw our line and subtract. So this is going to give us 10 minus 3x equals, and when I subtract the x's here, that's 0. So that leaves us with negative 8. Now to get this x part by itself, I need to get rid of the 10. So I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides. And after we do that, that leaves us with negative 3x equals negative 18. And then to get x by itself, we're going to divide both sides by negative 3. That cancels out the negative 3's. So my final answer for this problem, I'm going to scoot it over here, is x equals 6.